Hello guys, welcome biggity big to another video. So in this video we're not discussing any business stuff, just a slight observation I've made in my many years since graduating high school and just from helping other people throughout the years apply for varsity and stuff. I've noticed a pattern and I realized that the problem I faced right after high school isn't unique to me. Everybody has it. So by the time you graduate from high school, you've spent almost 22,000 hours on school premises, and that 22,000 hours is the majority of your total lifespan up to that point. Like if you've been alive for about, okay, let's say by the time you graduate matric, you've been alive for about 30,000 hours. Out of that 30,000 hours, you've spent almost 22,000 of them on school premises. And a little more if you count for the weekends and extra classes. Like that calculation I made didn't even account for leap years. Okay, 22,000 hours. And in that time that you are on school premises for 22,000 hours, you are dealing with all these newfound feelings throughout your body that are driving you towards self-destruction unless you have like a good source of guidance from outside, like maybe an elder sibling or an actual elder. So out of all 22,000 hours that you spend on school premises, you have very little time to figure out what you're truly passionate about or what you are actually good at outside of school. The thing that you can do and maximize and be able to live off for the rest of your life. Essentially, your flow state task. It's very hard to identify that when you're busy trying to balance school and raging hormones that are just driving you to make a baby as soon as possible. So because of that observation, I don't think there's anything wrong with not knowing what you want to do immediately after high school. But a lot of matriculants feel like there is, because maybe they've seen a few classmates of theirs, those ones who were top students and who have just always been driven since they were young, the people who knew what NSFAS was when they were in like grade 4. So of course they've always had a plan, and some matriculants are looking at them like, man, this guy has it all figured out. They don't, by the way, but they just look like it. So of course they're beating themselves up like, why am I lacking foresight? Why am I not as driven? Is this guy just naturally more intelligent than me? And stuff like that. But once you live life a little, you will figure out the things that you actually enjoy and are good at. It's just, you have to understand that most of the things that you do, especially in your youth while you're young, they're not meant to be permanent. So most of the things that you do in your youth aren't meant to be permanent anyway. Whether they are projects or hobbies or relationships, I'm not saying you shouldn't try and maximize it as much as you can, but you need to understand that if it crashes and burns, that was just the nature of it. It's just something that was bound to happen because of your own youth, lack of experience with the thing, and universe mechanics basically. You needed to suffer in order to glean the lesson from the thing that you were trying to make work out. So don't beat yourself up too much for all of those things that you consider failures. You know, the pain of failing is what's going to shape your character, and then you will figure out what you don't want. But in order to figure out what you want, what you really want, you need to first figure out what you don't want. And then once you realize what you hate, then you'll be able to see with much more clarity what you could love, instead of what you've been told that you should love, or what you've been told is appropriate to love. But you shouldn't be afraid. Like, the worst thing that you can do is be completely averse to failing, because the only way to guarantee that you fail permanently is to never try and fail even once. So my advice to you young guys, to you young people out there in matric right now or just out of high school, go out there and take as many risks as possible. Get hurt as much as possible. Hurt in the metaphorical sense that you will be trying something, it won't work out, and it's going to hurt your feelings. Go apply for those interviews. Go try and start that business. Go approach. Wow, the irony. I just failed to do this myself. But yeah, go approach that cute girl. And then if she shoots you down, then you've refined your approach. You know next time that, oh, okay, I probably shouldn't approach a girl by saying that. Or maybe another girl might appreciate that approach, you know? You could go to an interview, it goes terribly, and it's the job that your parents were so stoked for you to get because they're so excited about you getting your first job. You go to the interview, they're just not feeling you like that. It's nothing personal. You just don't fit in the organization. But take that failure, see what you can learn from it, and then carry the lessons from it into your next risk. The most important thing is to just keep seeking out potential failure. No, not potential success. Don't look at how well things could go. Look at what you could get if things go terribly. How much you stand to gain if things go absolutely bad. Yeah, I completely went off tangent there. I think I just got carried away because this meant a lot to me. It's some shit I wish someone had said to me about 8-9 years ago. Then I wouldn't. But you know what? We'll deal with that shit later. Anyway, if that's it for this essay. If you got any value out of this, stick around for more insightful takes like this by hitting that subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.